What's going on, internet? Or howdy, whatever fuck. You guys know what it is. Welcome to Nerd Night Perspectives. We're here for another podcast episode with Chase, Jonathan, and we're going to talk about... What are we going to talk about, Jonathan? What are we talking about? Chase, what are we going to talk about today?
A film that just came out recently called Killers of the Flower Moon. It's directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert Deniro, and just quite the list of actors.
Yeah, I know, quite a list. There's a lot of them. A bunch of no names, right? Though, like no one's ever heard of these two: Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio. These guys, newbies, right, to acting. No, I'm kidding. Of course, classic picks for a Scorsese film. And speaking of Scorsese's films, do you guys have any favorites of Scorsese? I know, Chase, you are a big fan. Jonathan, do you have any yourself? Or
I'll be honest, I'm not, and as sad as I hate to admit, I'm not that familiar with them. I mean, I know my mom is obsessed with Taxi Driver. I've never seen it. Goodfellas, heard about it a million times, have not seen it.
A bunch of like the most unfuckable men are gonna be commenting on our video, just crucifying you for never having seen a Martin Scorsese movie.
That I'm seeing off of IMDb.
What?
At the very least, I can say for sure that this movie was solid all throughout.
So this is
the acting, the atmosphere, everything.
The
music.
By default, this would be your favorite Martin Scorsese movie.
In a landslide, technically. Well, technicalities.
Chase, what would you say? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, you're good. I was gonna say it is even related. You haven't seen The Departed, have you, Hauser?
I don't think so.
That's a really good one too.
Oh, that one actually is my favorite. I love.
Oh, hell yeah! Well, I'll leave that one to you because I mean I almost lean Goodfellas if I had to pick. It's just hard because I've seen quite a few of these films, and I'm not putting it as my favorite, but The Irishman, which does have De Niro, and he's actually the lead.
Okay, my unfortunate perspective on that one is that I did not like The Irishman as much. I just tried watching it so many times I could not stay awake for it, and that's shame on me. The unfuckable men are now going to come after me. Go ahead, you fucking yell at me. I'm a piece of shit. I couldn't finish the fucking movie. I'm sorry. It was really long though. It was really long, and I just felt it was really dry. But it was. I still want to say it probably was a very good movie.
It's definitely not my favorite Martin Scorsese film.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at. I mean, I could rattle so many off. Whether and Gangs of New York isn't towards the top, but I think that's a pretty solid movie overall.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably have to go with Goodfellas. I think that's one we gotta get on you, Hauser, for not seeing it. And I say that as someone who didn't see it till 2 years ago, actually.
Yeah.
Because my brother was hassling me when I told him, and then I was like, oh wow, that's a hell of a film. That's obviously up there, considered one of the best mob films.
Yeah, one of the best. I really loved it. The reason it's not higher for me is because my dad also really loved it, and that meant that we watched it quite a bit. So I ended up kind of I kind of overwatched it a little bit. It's not that I wouldn't say I got burnt out on it, but it definitely it's not as special anymore as The Departed is, where the Departed had a lot of shock and atmospheric things that also really worked for it too, that just edges it out. Otherwise, also Wolf of Wall Street, absolutely.
I've seen Wolf of Wall Street.
So you have seen
this
is
Scorsese I've seen Wolf of Wall Street. Fucking yeah.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, that is quite the movie. It's
is that based on a true story? The Wolf of Wall Street?
It is. It's
it is.
It's definitely it's funny. One critique of that film, and someone put it, because the guy actually did this. It's just someone said it was a critique of the film that DiCaprio. I don't know if it's just a critique of the actual guy or movie or DiCaprio even, but like that how Leo did a lot of heavy lifting for some dweeb who ripped a lot of people off and made him seem more interesting is like the way they put it. I was like,
almost kind of glorified it a little bit.
Oh, absolutely! It's a Hollywood film. Don't get me wrong. I understand.
Was it based off of Bernie Madoff or
no? It was
been a while
based off of
Wall Street.
The title character is that's his actual name.
Yeah,
right?
Jordan Belfort.
Jordan Belfort. Yeah.
Okay.
And he is actually, believe it or not, at the end of Wolf of Wall Street, when Leo he becomes like he gets out of prison or whatever, and he becomes like a motivational speaker. When the guy introduces DiCaprio on stage as Jordan Belfort, the guy introducing him is actually Jordan Belfort.
Yeah. I love that you knew that.
So it is based on a true story. Not
okay.
It's embellished a little bit, but like, I mean, he actually did,
Well, now that I know that I have seen a freaking Scorsese film, I will say that I did like this, I think, a little more than The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, really? I love...
Wolf of Wall Street had a lot more humor in it.
Yeah.
It was funnier.
Yeah.
It was
compare these
crazier.
movies.
Well,
it's hard to, really, because they're just so... They're always so good.
Yeah.
But I will...
both true stories, Yeah.
At
least in basis.
Yeah, I do gotta say the worst part about the Wolf of Wall Street is that it probably enhanced the grift that Jordan Belfort was able to do. Is that now he's able to do, and he's like, yeah, I'm the Wolf of Wall Street. The movie. Now he's able to do these motivational speaking points. That...
Yeah,
honestly,
he was doing
unintentionally.
Even before that,
it was
kind of something he had started doing because this was there was a movie about this in the '90s about that same story. Like The Wolf of Wall Street wasn't the first movie about that.
Oh, really?
I don't remember what that other one's called though. I don't remember what it's called.
Nah, probably not as good.
But it was about that though.
Yeah, no, but the thing is that is like the way I see it is like the unintentional consequence of making a movie warning people about people like Jordan Belfort who are just snakes and shitheads is that now people are like, yeah, that guy's a solid fucking businessman. That guy's smart. Like, dude, he's gonna grift you, dude. That's what the movie was about. The guy is lying to you.
Yeah.
And a lot of just kind of brain dead people who misinterpreted
Bojack
the movie.
Or something. If you look, or Rick, Rick from Rick and Morty. If you look up to them, you totally miss the point.
Yeah, you missed the point of the movie.
It's like that sometimes.
So
all in all, oh no, go ahead, Matt.
Oh no, you go ahead. I will I was about to transition out of the topic.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, no, he is a good director, I should say, for sure.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah,
he is
on you about watching a couple other movies. The Departed and Goodfellas. You could put that in your back pocket for the future. Maybe in the next time I'm on. Who knows?
Oh,
yeah.
1 second.
Those would be fun movies to break down.
Yeah, are you wanting to do your life?
Yeah.
Right back to it.
Well, let's hope. I honestly think that we should kind of hope that, even though these people kind of took the wrong message from Wolf of Wall Street, let's fucking hope to God people do not take the wrong message from this movie. I think it'd be hard to mistake, but I mean, right? But anyway, so speaking on this movie,
I would say you can expect cultures.
Yeah, how would you best? How do you guys feel that you'd best enjoy a movie like this? Because I definitely feel a certain way about a movie like this.
Definitely set aside some time. It is long. It is just under. I mean, the runtime was 3 hours, 26 minutes. But like, there's like that includes the credits at the end. But it is well over 3 hours.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 hours.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you feel not exactly a family film? Put it that way too.
Yeah.
No, house for the whole family.
You gotta be like ready for like heartbreak and shit.
violence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just like
out already troubled people, you know.
It's something about like Martin Scorsese. I think his like scope of interest is just seeing kind of like the ugliest parts of humanity, you know, like because it's not like The Boys where it's just gratuitous violence. It's like the ugliness in your heart on a lot of these things, you know, that these people would be capable of doing for money, you know.
Well, that's just it. Like, it's not a heat of passion or anything. This is a slow, planned, meticulous choking out of these people, you know.
Yeah, I like the way you use that, choking out. It's conscious. You can't say that you didn't know what you were doing. You know what you're doing, and you're being a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah.
I personally. So you said, you know, Jonathan, how would you say you'd best enjoy a movie like this?
Well, like I said, you got to be prepared for heartbreak and just expect a clash of cultures. You know, we see we see, you know, their tribe, you know, even on reservations or whatever, they're just slowly being, you know, either forced to or out of necessity have to convert in some way to American, especially white American, especially Christian white American culture. Like Molly's already Catholic, but like,
yeah, no, I agree with you a large part. There's going to be a lot of. I don't feel like it's entirely taken from the perspective of the Osage people. I feel like they could have done a bit more with that, but Martin Scorsese is a white dude, white Italian guy. He's just doing the best he can in his defense to put forth that perspective. But it is going to show some really ugly things and really kind of tragic things that Americans have done to the Osage people. So be prepared for that. Definitely set aside some time. I definitely think this is a movie that you'd stay... You got to pay attention to. You got to be awake for. It's almost like an event with a Scorsese movie. And I don't know if I want to say it's like indulgent with how long he makes his movies. Because they are all great, but it is... You do kind of have to treat it like it's its own event. They are so long. You got to look forward to it. Get some... If you are going to watch it with people, there got to be people who are going to shut the fuck up and watch the film with you. You know, you shouldn't be giggling along with the movie. If you're going to have insights during the movie and you're going to talk during the movie, strategically place them during parts where no one's talking. You know, this is a...
You definitely need to put down your phone.
yeah, exactly. This is like I don't know. It reminds me of like once A Million Ways to Die in the West. Like, take your hat off, son. That's $1. But you pay attention to this movie. This is a Scorsese movie. You know, I love Scorsese. I love his movies. I think a lot of people do. He does tap into the hearts, into the darkest parts of our hearts, and show us the ugliest sides of ourselves, or the ugliest sides of the people who are out there. So, obviously, we've been talking nonstop about the director. What about the cast of this movie? Now, I do believe there is some controversy, especially in the Academy, about how the awards were given out.
The only thing I know is that they got underserved because I want to say Oppenheimer kind of took the stage.
Yeah, I don't know. Did like the big thing I think I hear a lot of the controversy about was Lily Gladstone not winning an Academy Award for her performance in Killers of the Flower Moon, which
that's the girl that plays Molly.
Yeah, which I think honestly, I don't want to be like that guy, but she really didn't play as much of a character. Like, she did a great job, But compared to Emma Stone, I think who did win in Poor Things, she had a lot more screen time. She did a lot more. Lily Gladstone just wasn't in the film enough and have as much agency in the film. Like I said, the Osage people, they are generally, a lot of the caricature of them is just victims in this movie. They aren't really active members of the story. And that's not me talking trash on the movie. It's just, I personally think it's just a fact of the movie. It's just a reality of the movie. The Osage people don't have much of an active role in it. I wish the best.
Well, they're kind of thwarted too. You know what I mean? Like, anytime they do, Robert Hale, is already a step ahead of them.
Yeah. And I wish the best for Lily Gladstone in the future. I hope she does win an award later on for another role.
I thought her performance, particularly with the drug scenes and stuff, was pretty good. Like, you really could believe that this woman is dying on pretty much a heroin overdose. It's
just hard for her to complete. Even though she did a great job, it's just hard for her to compete with Emma Stone, who was the lead role in the movie that she was in. But she did a fantastic job. I think everyone really did a fantastic job. A lot of people I wasn't expecting to see in there, like John Lithgow, Brendan Fraser. I heard
that one. It threw me off towards the end. Yeah,
loved him being in there. Made me happy.
He's been killing it.
Yeah, he's been killing it, and just fucking. I mean, it's low hanging fruit, but Deniro, absolutely. He's just a little psychopath, dude. You look at this guy and you're just like, you just get, as soon as you look at him, he doesn't even have to use dialogue. The way that he looks, the way that he feels, you know exactly what this kind of guy is, And it's just excellent directing, but also excellent acting on De Niro's part, and the humor that's kind of sprinkled throughout with that character like that. DiCaprio as well, who just plays the. I mean, would you guys call him a himbo? I mean, he's not like super.
I don't even know what a himbo is.
It's like a big dumb. Like a strong, attractive, dumb man.
It's a male bimbo.
Yeah, it's like a male bimbo. He's a bit of one to me.
It's pretty naive in this movie for sure. Ends up allowing himself to be.
You guys were referring to DiCaprio's character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's an absolute pimp in this fucking one.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And it's like you definitely use the word allows himself, because then he feels like he isn't as much to blame, but he is. He knows what he's doing.
He did a lot of those actual murders in it.
Yeah, he pretends. I think I liked your word choice of saying he allows that to happen, because he's definitely trying to play on the fact that he doesn't know what he's doing. He's afraid of his uncle and shit like that, but. You gotta admit, if he didn't listen to his uncle, his uncle would be a whole lot less powerful. His uncle's clever, but I don't know. I definitely gotta say that DiCaprio definitely played a really good, dumb piece of shit character, an awful person.
Yeah, that threw me off too, because not knowing the backstory behind this, which is all based on a true story, but also like what I'd seen from the trailers and just going into watching this movie, I thought DiCaprio would have been the protagonist.
Yeah. And
it turns out he was, although not like the main issue, because obviously that falls on De Niro's character, William Hale. Is that his name?
Yep.
With that being said, he wound up just, being a scumbag. And poisoned his own wife.
Yeah.
It's not like the main problem in this story. Like that threw me for a loop though. Actually, because I didn't see that going into this.
Well, it's like you get this while you're watching it too. It's like you kind of have you have like I can see myself having this level of relatability to him and being like, well, he didn't really know. He's kind of being pressured into this. But no, you have to step back and you have to go, no, it's not a hard choice to say, I'm not poisoning my fucking wife. I'm not going to murder people.
Or insulin. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's not a hard decision to make. But DiCaprio really delivers it and really makes it feel like he is a relatable character despite being such a scumbag. You know? And it's just such a credit to the movie, I think.
No, he's definitely a tremendous actor. Actually, I was going to give a shout out to well, I don't know if either of you have watched Breaking Bad. Jesse Plemons plays the agent.
You know, it was so weird a feeling to just be rooting for Jesse Plemons for once after like being in Breaking Bad where I just hated him.
I thought I recognized him.
Now he's playing Tom White.
Yeah. No, I was like, fucking finally, somebody. Jesse Plemons, please don't be a douchebag idiot. I swear to God. Sorry, where are we going? I didn't want to cut you off.
Cantu Cardinal played Lizzie Q. I think she's big, but I was not familiar with her.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Lily Gladstone was an unknown for me, and a lot of the native or the indigenous actors were pretty...
So Cantu Cardinal, the one you just mentioned, she was in Dances with Wolves. There's a callback there.
Oh, okay.
A lot of these Native American actors, I mean, if I go and look, there's a chance I could definitely find films I have seen. And unfortunately, admittedly, I don't recognize all the actors and actresses who were Native American in this. And it looks like they've all done their fair share in a lot of films and whatnot.
Yeah.
Staying away from it, but
you know what? You are right. I just kind of looked at Tantu. I didn't recognize her by name, but yeah, Tantu Cardinal. She was also in more recently. She was in Echo, that Disney Plus series, the Marvel.
Not familiar.
It's a. Anita really likes it. My partner really likes it because she's Choctaw. That story is about Choctaw people. Okay. And Tantu Cardinal plays a character in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
If I am, like I said, blame her. She told me she was.
Right. One other actor I would like to mention that like completely misses the radar because he shows he's very, very short and he shows up at the same time that we see Brendan Fraser. Freaking John Lithgow.
Oh yeah.
Who is the guy that plays freaking who voices Lord Farquaad.
Yeah, John, he's done a lot more than do that.
I know that.
Yeah, he is. Yep, he is in there. I remember, I don't know why, but like the most memorable thing I remember him being is the Trinity Killer in Dexter. But he's great. John Lithgow's in a lot of shit.
Yeah, he is. No, I know for sure.
I like...
That's what sticks out to me the most, dude. How can you not?
How can you not? How can you not love Shrek?
Yeah, Shrek's love, dude.
That is... No, that was great. That was a good one. I don't know why, but I noticed there's a guy named Jack White in here. I just think, is he
from the White Stripes?
White Stripes? Oh, really?
Yeah, and I noticed that too. He's at the very end when they're doing the kind of radio thing. At the end of the film, won't spoil that yet. But he was on there. I didn't recognize. I don't remember seeing him. I'll have to go back and check. But yeah, Jack White from the White Stripes is.
I didn't even notice.
He's like the antithesis version of Jack Black, right? Is that the?
Oh no.
The opposite.
They must battle.
They must fight. Well, they must become one. They must make Jack Gray.
Yeah. If we're going to production, I didn't write down any of the producers. There's 14 different fucking producers.
No, we don't need to get
including
into that.
Scorsese himself. So.
That guy's got some money, huh? That guy's got some money to throw around.
Yeah.
No, Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some money to throw around. Incredible acting in this. I guess that goes without saying. This really was a big movie. So anyone want to kind of cover and kind of give us a little quick synopsis on this movie?
I mean, I can try. So
You can try.
As we've gone over, it's based on a true story. In fact, the IMDb trivia says that that investigation to the Osage County was actually the first ever investigation presented to the newly formed FBI. So it wasn't even just a BI, or maybe it was, I don't know, but it was the first case according to IMDb.
Yeah, I think
that was that investigation.
Speaking of that, real quick, I just thought it was kind of funny. Hoover. So the FBI, run by J. Edgar Hoover, I just thought it was kind of funny that Leonardo DiCaprio plays J. Edgar Hoover in like another movie.
Fucking movie.
J. Edgar. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It would be kind of funny if like he just showed up and like DiCaprio's also playing J. Edgar Hoover.
Right.
No, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to derail you. But
I was watching and it just makes me think. I was watching a Jerry Seinfeld fucking movie called Frosted. I don't know if you guys seen that with the cereal.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Bill Burr's JFK. Not making that up.
Because he's from
this is new.
It's pretty new, yeah. It's on Netflix.
Kellogg's and Post, sworn cereal rivals, race to create a pastry that will change the face of breakfast forever. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically
1
this
hour, 30
cereal fight over. Yeah, it's not something I would watch twice, but it was good for a first watch. Anywho, but we're just talking about just like you were talking about it if he just was randomly Hoover, because it just made me think about Bill being randomly JFK.
Wow. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, that was my bad. My bad.
No, that was my bad. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, so I'm going. I'm sorry, I forgot I'm going. So it's based on a true story regarding a series of murders that wasn't actually popularized until a book was written by David Grann under the same name in 2017. Which, I mean, there's some controversies with that because, like we're talking about, that should be, people argue that should be a story for, indigenous, the Osage people to tell. But there hasn't really been a book written, about it that I'm aware of. And so it's kind of like, at least the word got out. It sucks that we don't get the true perspective, but the word is out now. Oh, a story that should have been told long ago. From when it started. Anywho. An Army cook veteran. I assume that's after World War I, right?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah. And he follows his uncle. He follows his orders and crap, and basically tries to woo a Native American woman, Molly, to gain their family's wealth that they derive from oil in the state of Oklahoma in the 1920s. Obviously the odd thing is that their family keeps dying, uninvestigated. And most Osage don't even live past 50. And they're very susceptible to disease, including diabetes. That's a pretty prominent one.
There's also like another disease they seem to keep dying of is the white man disease.
The smallpox.
I was just talking about the fucking white people just straight murdering them.
That disease, yeah.
That disease seems to be killing them.
For sure. Yeah, no, for sure. When you can say it, when we talk about things like diabetes, whatnot. But anyhow, so, but in spite of this, some of them are for sure being murdered. Obviously, like corruption, politics ensues, and so I guess eventually a loose sense of justice kind of comes around. Big spoiler: our big bad, even though he gets thrown in prison eventually for his fucking crimes. He actually gets like IRL. He gets out in 20 years on good behavior.
Was it 20? I thought it was like 7.
No, I'm pretty sure 20. That's it. That's what I have written down anyway.
Really?
It's not for the faint of heart for sure. Brutal deaths. I don't like to say the word triggered, but I have a hard time watching needle injections. I don't know what the term for that is, but I have a hard time with that in any movie. The needle poke, hate it. Absolutely hate it. That said, obviously, that just shows you again how powerful these kinds of, the way they display them. I don't know. You want to kind of take over the rest of that? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. It's just basically
really details, but...
tale as old as America. White people come in, and they proceed to be an absolute problem for the people, the indigenous people to the Americas. It's just a tale of greed, and Deniro's character gets his nephew Leonardo DiCaprio and his brother to marry into the family and try and take land into their own possession, killing off people to get more land, to get more money. It's all about money, and they just proceed to be scumbags throughout the movie. And it sounds like it's a very simplified version of a 3.5 hour movie. Very much is, but that's essentially what happens. And it's going into this movie goes into the intricacies that go on with how these people are getting away with these murders, and eventually when the trial does come and some semblance of justice is served. And I know you say, and I've heard that too, is that this is a story that the Osage should tell. Please tell it. I'm not a big fan of like a lot of struggle movies, but they are important. They are necessary, and this is a Native American struggle movie. We're used to like a lot of black movies, black struggle movies, where we deal with the civil rights and everything like that. They are important to some sense. They got to remind us of the horrible things that we're capable of and how we should be better.
We want to hear their stories, even if the larger corporations and producers, aren't trusting of them to tell it.
Yeah, and it's like, as much as I don't want to get into the discourse about like the woke agenda and whatnot, these stories are important to be told, and if it makes you uncomfortable, grow the fuck up. It's reality. We are going to be telling... There's stories that are meant to be told that aren't always going to make you feel happy about the things that your ancestors did or had happen to them. But...
Well, they might worry about, like, it's just not being told the way they're told, and this is their story kind of thing.
Well, maybe they should tell it, and they should tell it.
I agree, and I hope they do,
And I hope they do, too.
But a lot of this is like, I don't know if we want to keep talking about the overview of this movie. It's just so hard to name everything. But basically, that kid's like so loyal to his uncle that he ends up poisoning his wife.
He's just so spineless. He
is. I even watched like this little YouTube documentary, and he was described as like the I'm paraphrasing, but like the strangely loyal nephew, even loyal amongst family. This kid doesn't ask questions,
Yeah, well, I mean, you almost got to ask too, is like, how much did he really, like, is he gonna really try to feign ignorance on, or that I didn't know, or he's just so, he was so influential, because he says in the get-go when he's talking to his uncle, he says, I love women, I love money, How how do we know this is really the perspective that he had? He may have just been a huge piece of shit. May have been just a huge sociopath and just happened to be able to shift the blame a bit more off himself and more on his uncle, who is also giant piece of shit.
Yeah.
But we get to look at him and be like, he's a slightly more sympathetic character.
Yeah, well, I mean, this thing isn't totally. I mean, I don't want to go to extremities, but it's kind of like some of those things when we talk about, like, obviously, like Nazis and Hitler, and we talk about people's influence and how much of that can you push off, and how much of it is it really your responsibility? How much is one Nazi soldier responsible for the Holocaust? And obviously, that depends on which one we're talking about, but.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's just it. We blame like 200,000 deaths on one soldier, even though that guy actually may not have been the one shoving them in. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, who is to blame? And when everyone takes a little piece of it, they can all just blame it on each other instead, even though they are all arguably equally responsible.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, we can at least say, hey, DiCaprio's character. Fucking responsible, and and I'm glad you made the comparison to a lot of the Holocaust, because I mean the Holocaust was at least something that we were able to stop. The Native American genocide had went on for so long. It's the most successful one because we don't even really think of it as like
the American
history
genocide.
Like, yeah.
Well, I was going to say the American genocide of Native Americans is literally what inspired Hitler's Holocaust.
Yeah.
And he quotes it in Mein Kampf, I believe.
I didn't know that.
Wow. I didn't know that either. That's fucking crazy. But, I mean, it's the most effective genocide that has been done, I think, ever. No one stopped it. It just kind of petered out, and arguably still is kind of going on.
Slow burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fucked up. It's a struggle movie. I'm glad Scorsese was able to make it, even though a lot of people will complain about how this isn't a story told from the Osage perspective. It would be nice to have that in the future. But you know what? At least it's telling this story that a lot of people...
I'm glad I got to hear this story. I didn't know about it. Like I said, this was like the first investigation ever. I mean, it didn't even get popularized until that book in 2017. And this is like damn near a century later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just
a forgotten story. Yeah.
And you kind of see in the movie what's going on. Even at the time, it's probably just getting swept under the rug.
Yeah.
It was just looked at as not a priority, and whatnot, just because it was Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly enough, and that same thing is actually, I mean, like even the systems in place when we talk about how a lot of them had to have guardianships, white guardianships, because basically the natives weren't considered responsible enough to spend their own money how they choose. That literally treating them like children or mentally disabled people. I mean, that's where we are.
They had to have weird. Sorry, I was gonna say they had to have what was it? I don't know if the term was companion, but like
I swear it was guardian.
Guardian, yeah. Like when one of them tried to go to the bank, for example. Yeah.
Like when someone basically adopts you, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They even had to pay $20,000 to have a private investigator come. They even asked him, "Did you come out because people are dying, or because we paid you $20,000?"
He didn't even answer the question.
Yeah.
Nor would he, because we all know the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's actually one of those cool things, and we talk about in storytelling or movie making or whatnot, is being able to speak something without saying it,
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Yeah, and I think this movie also brought up a big issue. That is actually like something that's still kind of going on, is like from the very beginning of the movie, they show all these different indigenous folks dying, and they said, not investigated, not investigated. The one white woman died, they ruled it a suicide. Obviously not what happened, but none of those deaths, those murders, got investigated. And this is something that's still kind of going on even today with a lot of like indigenous women who are being trafficked, or murdered or go missing. It's one of the...
Well, also makes it difficult because I mean it's technically different government.
Yeah, but
Well, obviously the feds have no excuse, but it muddies the legal waters for the territories.
I suppose. But justice isn't getting served, is the point.
Indeed, no doubt about it. Sadly enough.
Mm.
And like you said, it's that kind of it's institutionalized racism that is still today. That's still here. That hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's, and it is what I think makes this movie a very important movie, is that it is very relevant to today, and maybe these things happened a long time ago. Still, a lot of these issues still going on right now.
We haven't resolved the actual issue, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you know.
Yeah,
it's repeating the same process.
It is, and I think it's awesome that Scorsese did come out. He took a lot of, he's got a big name, got a big influence. He's able to kind of try and bring at least some more light on an issue like this.
He used it to illuminate this story.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he made millions, but of all the stories, he chose this one. So
sure, yeah.
A little respect where respect's due.
He could have just made another mob movie, and he chose not to.
And it probably would have been good.
It probably would have been really good. Yeah. He'll probably make another one. But it sheds some light, and hopefully in the future we are getting some more Indigenous representation. Hopefully Lily Gladstone becomes more of a household name, and Tantu Cardinal. A lot of these people are able to have successful careers. I'm all for representation. I think it's great. Enough of our soapbox about the politics of the movie.
Right.
What do we want to talk about on inspirations that maybe we saw from other films?
I'll be honest. I actually had a hard time. I literally wrote down that the film and the story was unique in its own right. I had a hard time finding anything that reminded me of anything else. I didn't really feel like I'd seen this before. It all felt so new to me.
Mm-hmm. What would you say, Chase?
Yeah, it's hard, especially considering the inspiration for this film was an actual historical event that took place.
Yeah, and of course,
it's just so hard to connect the dots there. Because how many films can you say? I can't really even say. Because Dances with Wolves, for example, we talked.
Yeah,
about
that's the only thing I could think of, and that's just because of that actress and stuff.
Yeah.
And not just that, but just with the Native American people, with what they had to go through, what they suffered at the hands of our government and whatnot. Those are definitely two that come to mind for films that are about that. But where can you say, elsewise? I know it's deeper than that. Where films can draw. Yeah.
Well, I do think Dances with Wolves is likely one, though.
Well, I think, as far as what you're saying with there is that uniquely this movie has, and I don't want to sound too fucking SJW or whatever, but uniquely this film has a perspective that definitely tries to make, in a lot of these other movies in the past where we have Native Americans or Indigenous Americans, we usually have a white character in there that's also a good guy. We usually have a white good guy in there. There's really not one in here.
The good white.
Yeah, the good ones. He throws his hat down and goes, that just isn't right what they're doing to your people. Well, and this one, it's all various shades of the different people who just kind of let this horrible thing happen. I feel like it's a more honest take on it. And yeah, sure, you got Jesse Plemons and John Lithgow being people who are, but they're government workers, They're
part of the system that has their hands in a lot of this.
Yeah, exactly. It's there's no artificial white savior in this. Everyone in there, there's no real savior. Yeah. So
they have to pay the government $20,000,
Yeah. So I guess that does
they're
make
not
it
good
really
guys. Even though they do serve some some justice. They didn't do it for good causes, per se. At least not initially.
I gotta say, I mean, a lot of this movie is definitely in the same vein as a lot of Martin Scorsese's movies, where you show the ugliness of people, and he's got a very specific style of filmmaking. I do gotta say though, did you guys catch? Scorsese's pretty known for his needle drops. Did you guys catch any needle drop moments in there? I can't remember any of them off the top of my head.
You mean record stop or what?
Well, when they play a song, a memorable or notable song, usually a pop culturally relevant song, in the movie. For instance, for Chase, when they played Layla in Goodfellas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything as far as a specific song that was in the soundtrack. There was one time there was there's a random guitar riff or something like that, but I don't think anything real specific soundtrack wise that was.
They had a lot of good things. I want to say they did "We'll Never Grow Old" by Alfred Karn.
Oh, really?
I'm not familiar.
A Beautiful Life, Chuck Wagon. They even had Blind Willie Johnson in it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Dark was the night.
So
was the ground.
They did have some.
They had a lot of good ones. I want to say. I want to say Great Speckled Bird was on there. Was it? Oh, no, maybe not. I take back that last one. I think, but they did have some good songs in there.
I mean, for a director known for his very memorable, very powerful needle drops, I couldn't. A lot of them come to mind from this movie, but I'm glad you're able to bring those up.
The soundtrack was actually some of my favorite parts. There was stuff I knew, and there was stuff I didn't, and Shazam did, and fucking dude,
saying the album sounds. Saying the soundtrack was a mix of blues rock, country blues, country rock, folk rock, Native American, whichever. I don't know what you would call Native American music, other than just. Music.
I guess it's its own genre.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why I'm not a big country guy, so maybe that's why I guess I didn't recognize.
Yeah, well, it's actually pushing more towards Western, country Western.
Let's stop here and let's talk about some of our favorite parts of this movie. I got quite a few of them. I'm sure we all do.
There's one that stood out to me really early on, actually. It was when, in the beginning of the film. And I didn't know the background behind the fact that the tribe and all these families had actually discovered oil on their land, and it had made them somewhat wealthy and, just in a different class in society. And this is all based on true story, and I didn't know this was ever a thing. So seeing this image of people who are Native Americans who are wearing nice clothes, driving cars, looking like they're amongst, upper society back in the 1920s, where it's just completely different for the vast majority of these people and what they went through at the time. But when it showed that, but there's a part where it's the natives that just had oil just randomly shoot from the ground, and they're all dancing and jumping around in it and getting covered in oil. And I thought there was a lot of kind of powerful imagery behind that.
Yeah. You kind of reminded me a lot of There Will Be Blood.
Well, because they've been, they obviously historically didn't, they didn't have money. They didn't view the world in possession per se, not at least of an individual.
When they saw that oil,
and then and I remember reading a thing. That was a very rare thing. Most of the Osage, most of the Native Americans did not strike gold like that. That was pretty new for the time. And it was kind of their ticket into, the white man's world in a way. You know what I mean?
They still got fucked over.
Well, that's just it. They're dancing for that oil, but it ended up being the death of them.
Yeah, well, it made them a target.
Indeed.
As oil does. Even America. We all make the jokes about, America's about to invade this country because they just discovered oil. We were doing that to our own country.
You know?
Oh, this reservation has oil, you say?
Right? I'll take that land back.
Yeah, we're gonna switch some things around. We got
Again.
Yeah. Something like this.
Trail of Tears. Come on, guys.
It's another one. You already did one. Let's do another one.
Sequel time.
Yeah.
Not to go far, just get away from the oil.
It's small. It's a lot smaller than what Chase was just mentioning, but I really like just the whole appreciation for the power of a storm. Like the whole her requiring DiCaprio to sit in silence, be still.
Yeah. Well, it also kind of was like a representation of that kind of what they call the Blackbird talk, where he couldn't just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what Deniro was warning him about,
Yeah.
It goes with that saying, if you don't have something, not nice, but if you don't have something intelligent to say, you're better off staying quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Because it reveals you end up hurting yourself because you reveal your own stupidity, unnecessarily so.
A lesson we could all.
It removes the mystery too of what goes on in the mind.
Yeah. I really liked. To be honest, I really liked the part where fucking Deniro was spanking the shit out of fucking DiCaprio. And that was funny.
Yeah.
Sad thing is, though, it turns out DiCaprio was wearing pads under his butt.
No,
He got to. He would literally break his fucking tailbone.
Not my DiCaprio. He's a meth. He's 100%.
Well, that's just it. I watched some. I wish I knew who it was. Someone on YouTube was like brought that up and they're like method acting my ass.
Won't that old man spank you? I thought that was pretty funny. That was pretty.
Yeah, well, pecking order, dude. It was like the purest sense of it.
Yeah.
He was acting him like the child he was.
Like the child he was. He was being a fucking idiot.
All that was not only thwarting his uncle, but he honestly almost got himself in fucking trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Out of just a little more greed. And his uncle, as greedy as he is, he knows when to take, and when not, and when to give. When to say, I'll give you $1,000.
Yeah, he was really great with his uncle was really great with his image. And actually, they talk about. I think it was Lily Gladstone talked about in an interview was about how a lot of indigenous people after the trial still thought Hale was a nice guy. He was a cool dude.
Well,
they didn't want to believe
deified, it seems. At least that's the way the movie gives me the impression.
They didn't see him as the wolf in sheep's clothing that he really was, because he helped out every now and again.
Yeah, and also there's also a part of it of in I want to say psychology of whether you want to believe it. Those are probably some of them that in spite of all the facts and evidence and testimony, part of them still just wants to believe he was the good guy. He was this King Arthur, like we talked in another pod. That is true and good and has done nothing but save us. He's the only one that's kept us from more murders. You know what I mean? Or some kind of whatever they have to headcanon they have to give themselves.
Yeah.
To still deify this man that they look up to. Because otherwise they got to admit that they were wrong.
Yeah.
And that's another issue amongst individuals, is to look back and be like, I was totally wrong about
They were totally wrong. They should know that white people are not to be trusted. We can't be. That's the movie, right?
I don't know about that. White man, for sure.
Depends on who you ask.
Right, for sure.
I got some more. What else you guys?
I do too.
You guys got? What do you got, Chase?
Yeah, this wasn't particularly. So other parts I liked. This wasn't even a part I liked per se. It's a part that just stood out to kind of just shows some of the absurdity and craziness behind all this. There was a character who was one of the conspirators. his name was Kelsey, and he murdered Anna, I believe, if I got the names right. But there was one part when he was talking to, I can't remember if this would have been insurance related or whatnot, but he was trying to figure out, because a lot of this is behind, these people who are conspiring to murder these rich Native Americans, and some of them are married into these families, so they're trying to get a piece of the pie. But there's this one part, and this stood out to me because he was basically asking, like, he was like, so if my adopted children die, am I the recipient of there? And the guy literally looks at him, he's like, you basically alluded to trying to murder your children or adopted children. Yeah. And then be a beneficiary of their wealth. And I was like, holy shit.
So I'm not going to do it because I know that it wouldn't help me.
Yeah. He's like, well, now you told me I can't get away with it or something like that. I was like, holy shit, dude.
You're fucking insane.
Oh, never mind.
Just kidding. Actually, I will say, another part I really enjoyed was when they had Leo they were interrogating him. And trying to get him to crack, and to come to find out, one of the people he had conspired with had already been caught and told him everything. So he's just like in there, just denying everything. He's like, no. He's like, I had nothing to do with any of this. And then they bring in the other guy, and he's just like, hello. And then he realizes he's fucked. And then it happens again.
He brought in Blackie, right?
Yes, another guy that was brought in that had conspired, and he had actually killed. He shot that guy in the back of the head. I think I can't remember his name. He had a white name. I can't remember if it was Henry. I'm actually forgetting his name. He's the one that had
I think it was
the fucked up eye.
It was Molly's ex-husband.
Yep. And he was denying everything, and then Leo and that other guy, Kelsey, I think the guy's name was. They just walk in. They're just like, hello. It's just, I love that callback to the other time. I actually
that butthole pucker moment that they have when they see we'll
get a chance to tell us yourself, and then they brought in the guy who had, and then this is that moment when they realize they're fucked.
Right. Yeah, a lot of this, and there's a lot of obvious two-facedness in this whole series. I can't remember the guy, but the guy that killed Molly's sister, and she basically takes care of him. That next day, not knowing that he killed her sister. I'm pretty sure that was a real event. Like, that actually happened.
Oh wow!
It's just really sad. There's so much deception, so much. It's just really fucked. I have two quotes from this movie that I'd like to mention that I really like. There's a part where Deniro's talking to DiCaprio, and he's like about Molly and all this crap, and he's like, "Let her have her secrets, that way you can have yours." And I mean, that was just like some seriously dark, divisive, deceptive stuff, like put in just a single sentence, just like that one line is just like, what the fuck? Literally just putting in like, just making sure that he has room to deceive,
Yeah. And here's something that I really liked about the movie too, is that it kind of highlighted something that is just, history repeats itself on this notion every time. Is we talk about how a lot of this has to do with racism and stuff like that. Sure, yeah. But you know what is like the biggest tools of a lot of that is the poor white people are just the ultimate tool for that. They don't have any benefit to doing this dumb shit like murdering these people or like supporting the Confederacy in the Civil War, right? We talk about these things. Powerful, rich people influence poor white people to do their bidding, and take the fall. Every time.
Have you ever heard of Bob Dylan's "Only a Pawn in Their Game"?
No.
It's a song that came out in, I want to say, the 60s. 1960, yeah, somewhere in the 60s, I don't know. And the whole thing is about that. It's about what you just said, that they're only a pawn in their game.
They're only a pawn in the game, and it's a tale as old as time, I mean, especially now, especially when we talk about racism in America, these people, they're racist, they're stupid, they're poor, but they really probably wouldn't have much of a problem with these people if they actually got to know them and shit like that. And they're always the ones that are just the instruments being used by more powerful people to get the most benefit. And really, these people don't get any benefit to themselves.
Well, like I said, it's a psychological hierarchy thing. It's one of those things like, I might be a poor white guy, but I'm not a poor Native American. You know, it's like, it's this hierarchy that people have in their minds.
And it's dumb.
Even though,
because
it's classism, and it's how you separate, that's how you keep the masses fighting amongst themselves while you get all the benefit. I mean, that's like you talked about tale as old as time. I mean, that's it right there. I mean, it almost goes to the idea that, all historical struggle is some variation of, economic or really class struggle.
Yeah, no.
It is the fight of the classes. It's poor whites versus rich natives getting fucked by an even richer white guy.
Yeah. They're pointed in a direction. It's just kind of stupid, There's no self-awareness even to this day of being like, hey, these people are manipulating you. You get nothing out of it. And I think this movie was probably the most overt about it, and even they do it in a more subtle way, but it's almost too subtle, to where most people don't get that.
It's normal. It feels
like they just go down to the poor, like oil field workers or miners or moonshiners, and they just go, hey, do you want to go kill some guys, and we'll give you maybe like fucking $5 for it, and we'll get like 10 to 20,000.
Yeah, well, it's that way with a lot of things. Even like tax cuts, right? Like
just
like Donald Trump, we talk about how he did, give people tax cuts, and people did, the average person did directly benefit from them, but like 80-something%, the vast majority,
these tax cuts never affect. These tax cuts do not affect
so they can run away with the Benjamins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same thing with like Reaganomics, where it's just like, if we cut taxes on the rich, they'll obviously spend more money on the poor or their employees. Except they didn't.
No. They just keep growing bigger.
Yeah. Tail just kind of made more evident right there.
No, it is. It really is.
On another note, because I have so many good things I've written down, I love. This is just on a totally dumber fucking note. I just love De Niro wearing those dumb fucking riding goggles. He's riding the car. He still looks cool as shit, because he's De Niro and he's just like the man, but like wearing those goggles, he just looks like a fucking idiot. The goggles are dumb, but like, you get why he's wearing them. But it's just
like
funny
that they had it, because there's a lot of. I mean, even today, look at all the stuff that people are wearing right now. That's fucking. It's just kind of emphasizing that, like, these goggles, they're there, but they are dumb. But they are there. Be sure.
But I think he just pulls it off so well, because he's like Satan in this, He's evil as fuck in this movie.
He is. No, he's,
absolutely. Coming back around, Chase, do you got anything else you want to say for your favorites? Because I'm gonna keep going if you guys don't.
I got like one more.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I hope I'm not stealing.
No, go ahead, please do.
I thought in a short time he was on the screen, which it kind of caught me off guard. But Brendan Fraser appearing as a attorney for William Hale, if I got his name right again, that's De Niro's character.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
He really grabs your attention quite a bit. I thought he did exceptional.
I did not see that coming. I pulled a Leo snapping at the TV going, look.
The whale.
Oh, the mummy.
But he's
the jungle.
done well for himself doing more serious roles and whatnot. But yeah, I thought that was exceptional. I thought just,
I'm so happy to just have Brendan Fraser back in general.
Me too.
He's such a treat every fucking time.
He really is.
There was another actor. I don't know if you guys recognize him. Do you know who John Lithgow is?
We've only mentioned him 4 or 5 times on this one episode.
Oh yeah, John. Yeah, we even argued about
you dorcas
about it because I got a bunch of shit for it. It's like it dragged them open.
Yeah, no, sorry, I don't mean to derail you, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry, jeez.
I thought he was. No, he popped up unexpectedly too, and I thought, and he's a good actor. Both two actors who are not typically known for being in serious roles wind up being attorneys in this courtroom in a serious movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, no, I did enjoy that.
I'll definitely say John Lithgow has definitely had a more successful career than Brendan Fraser has, at least consistency-wise.
Brendan had to quit for obvious reasons, and I don't blame him.
Well, I don't think he really meant to quit. It was just his agent never found him any roles, is what I've heard. Is that his?
Well, I know that I thought he's also stopped wanting to do it because he got fucking pretty much molested by one of the producers or somebody, one of the higher ups.
Yep, something like that.
So I can't fully.
Well,
I
hate that.
Talk about that story here, but I think the reasonable conclusion.
Someone touched and hurt my angel, Brendan Fraser.
Yeah,
we got to go to war about this. I don't.
Well, exactly. But I'm just saying the combination of the corruption of Hollywood elitists stopping him from getting work, and then his own internal conflict with going through such a tragedy. I don't blame. I'm just saying I don't blame him for stopping, but I do think that's why his career, comparatively, at least in recent times, aside from really recent stuff, has been rather absent. But I'm just saying reasonably so.
Yeah. I wanted to say too is that I really liked a lot of the references to Tulsa, the infamous Tulsa attacks, bombings. I loved how they kind of just very subtly put that in there. Did you guys catch that?
I did not. Do you want to kind of brush us up on this?
Oh goddamn! Well, I hope I don't butcher a lot of this history, but a lot of it had to do with the success of a lot of the black economy doing really well in Tulsa, even calling it Black Wall Street and stuff like that, and a lot of the neighboring Klan and the white fuckers, the poor whites, they just saw and didn't like how successful they were being, making their own little metropolis and stuff, so they actually went in there with the National Guard to bomb the shit out of them. It's an absolute black mark on American history that is not something that's really talked about much, but it's an active and tangible sign of aggression that the government had and the people, white people, had against successful black people trying to do well in the country. The only other show that I can really think of that actually shows representation of what happened in Tulsa is the Watchmen series, which, for a lot of people, and I, myself included, was fairly ignorant on. This is something that is not talked about in American history classes. it's something that's glossed over. This was an open act of aggression from the government and just general poor whites against people that were doing America capitalism correctly and succeeding, but were forced back because they were of their color of skin.
And what I think we see consistently historically, including in what you're mentioning, that the whole race war is really just class warfare disguised as a race war. And so rather than looking at
it was motivated by race, I think.
Well, I understand that, but what I mean to say is rather than them being like, why do you have money and I don't, it's more like, why does this black guy have money and I don't?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? They're blaming him and not necessarily other powers that be.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's something that's an uncomfortable part of our history, like this story in general, that this alludes to. And maybe Scorsese will make a movie about that at some point. It'd be another struggle movie, which is just, they are just not feel-good movies or really inspiring movies, but it's something that is necessary, a story to tell. We act like, oh yeah, we ended slavery and racism ended forever after.
Have you read the 13th Amendment of the Constitution?
Yeah.
It says it right there, dude. You can just enslave anyone for committing a crime, which is what our prison system is, especially the privatized sector. And that, leads to more issues why we have, like, minimum, sentencings, and I don't want to get too political.
it's hard not to with a movie.
And really, especially this movie, it has political commentary, and it's so reflective of. That's the saddest thing about all this. We see all this shit, and we're looking at it like it was so long ago, dude. It's happening today, Junior. In some form or another.
If we want to kind of transition out of the politics a little bit, I want to fucking mention another dumb thing that I really enjoyed about this movie, was just like the sheer just the way that medical treatment was done. I got melancholy. Hey, you should drink whiskey about it.
Right? It's true.
This is bad medical advice. These guys
probably it's literally the opposite of what he needs. It would only intensify his symptoms.
Yeah, right. Like just two guys decided to make a building and say they're doctors, and then just
drunk pussy.
Yeah, what are you fucking being a baby? You fucking pussy? You fucking just drink some whiskey.
Right? Little heroin.
Yeah. We'll go around again. Chase, you got anything?
Just in general, favorite parts I like about.
We're still doing one last lap of that.
Yeah. Well, any that's particularly stand out. Shoot, that I don't just say that about covers it.
Oh yeah, not a single part you liked about this movie. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we've come through quite a bit.
We have.
How about this? Let's let Chase think on it. I do have one.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's very small. Again, it's just very short quote. 2 lines. 2 words. Freaking, and it was Lily Gladstone playing Molly. Freaking, it's when she's It's when Ernest takes some of the heroin that he's been giving her.
Yeah.
And he actually realizes what the fuck he's doing to his fucking wife.
Yeah.
And they're like just laying there on the bed. And Molly turns. Yeah. Well, Molly turns to Ernest and just looks at him with almost nothing behind her eyes and just says, "You're next." And it was just so. It was almost spine chilling when she says that. Even in this inebriated state, he knows. It just spells it out so much. It spells it out for him. The truth is so fucking obvious that on a heroin trip this bitch is putting it together, and Ernest can't seem to fucking figure out what's really going on. It's almost insane. But I think one of the more powerful parts of the movie, and honestly, that scene might be what has people arguing about her and Emma Stone. Is how well Molly did that scene specifically, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't. And even despite all that, she still tried to give him a chance to admit what he did. He was just like, no, it's just insulin, and that was the end of the both.
Yeah, that's just it. Like, even after everything, he can't humble himself enough. Similar, like we were talking about some people denying the stuff about Hale. They couldn't humble themselves enough to look at the people they loved and even the people they hurt and say, I was wrong.
It's something that we should challenge ourselves with, and I think it's an overall lesson in the movie. It's like, hey, when something's
it's okay
wrong,
because it's better than keeping up with this.
Yeah, it's better than doubling down on being fucking wrong.
Right, or even being in complete denial and never actually approaching or changing anything. You can't really change if you don't admit what's wrong in the first place.
Yeah. I want to say that some of my favorite scenes, and I'm just going to try and go quickly on them. I love I like Chase, like you mentioned, when Jesse Plemons shows up. I remember him in Breaking Bad. I've seen him in quite a few things. He's been really proven himself as a fantastic actor. Seeing him in this, I was like, thank fucking God someone's coming in to do something to help these people. I loved where they fucked up that private investigator. It made me feel some sadness. And I basically just loved every scene with Deniro in it, to be honest. He was always he was kind of funny, but in this twisted sense that you're watching the devil do his work,
Yeah. No, I mean, in spite of DiCaprio doing such a good job, De Niro stole the show, I think.
Yeah. And
but everyone did good, right? I feel like the acting and the atmosphere was consistently good from everybody throughout the whole.
And I think it was great too. Was it Anna, right? The one that was the alcoholic sister?
Yeah.
I loved how Scorsese, in a lot of the interviews they talk about this, but Scorsese gave a lot of freedom to a lot of the actors to put their own input in. And Anna says, like, I wanted De Niro to give me the flask, Hale to give her the flask while she was grieving and stuff like that, or she was really sad. And that was something that they put in the movie. A lot of like the input that was put in from a lot of the indigenous actors was taken seriously and put into the movie, including very subtle scenes that we didn't really catch, or I didn't really catch in the beginning, especially like when she starts really drinking and going crazy. It's largely spurred on by this innocuous act of him, of De Niro's character giving her a flask of whiskey on the day of that funeral. Small things like that, or just kind of giving those little moments like that, and I thought it was
small
great.
Details are what makes it all feel so real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes it so real, and I also just love the real tragedy of like Lily Gladstone's character really trusting and loving someone like that, and it just turns out that the guy you love so much and trust is just an absolute twat.
Yeah,
absolute monster.
It's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. I also love that moment where, like how you said earlier, Chase, where these people are being brought out and in the trial, and the pawns in the game are being brought out, and they have a lot of the power and a lot of like the, ability to sink these people, and all DiCaprio's character, all Ernest can say is, well, I I didn't. I gave him a 20, not a dollar. You know.
No, I remember now. I gave you a 20. I know it now. I remember.
I gave him a 20. Yep.
Well, I thought I gave you a 20.
The thing is like, what I was thinking about wanting to believe something so much, wanting to believe Robert, or wanting to believe Bill Hale is a good guy, wanting to believe. He's in such denial and delusion that whether he actually believes or not, is at least trying to either convince someone else, but really he's trying to convince himself.
Mm.
That he wasn't being, as they called it, being Jew is what they called it in the film.
Yeah.
But they're talking about him just being greedy, and even amongst the people that did their dirty work, they fucked over. They never.
Mm. Yeah.
No.
Well, I thought it was pretty clever too. Speaking of the people you do your dirty work and you fuck over, he tricked that one guy who blew up the house into going and robbing that place that he tipped off, getting himself killed.
Yeah.
Probably smarter to cut more loose ends like that, but
Yeah.
Good thing he didn't.
Yeah.
This movie is full of so many great scenes. I could go on all day.
We could literally go on forever on shame.
I gotta stop.
Yeah, we should probably move on to the flip side, which I don't really have. I only got like 2 things written down for critiques.
Critiques?
And they're really small. I felt like some of the accents were like a little much. Some of them, I'm having a hard time saying specifically.
I mean, even DiCaprio and De Niro sounded, not critiquing theirs so much, but I know what you mean, especially if you're familiar with someone who's like outside of this movie, and then you hear them.
Yeah, it took a little adjustment, especially for De Niro. I felt especially. You kind of had to let it grow on you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very likely, at least, necessary.
Okay.
So I can't really critique it too much, And the only other thing I have is Leonardo DiCaprio's hat brim, dude. Freaking thicker than Texas toast.
I guess now that you mention it, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
It's a little ridiculous to me, but I mean, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sturdy
Not
hat.
as bad, like similar to those goggles we were talking about with De Niro earlier. A little over the top, but still fitting for the time and place, in fashion, But that's really all I have. So literally, I practically don't have any critiques. This movie was fucking phenomenal.
Chase, you got any critiques?
Yeah, I'd say, and this is kind of something that, generally speaking, was a knock that some reviews had on one. It is a long movie. It is a somewhat.
I did feel like when we were getting towards the end, I was kind of like, okay, is it over yet? No, it's still going. There was a little bit of that, which does kind of hinder the movie a little.
The pacing was a little slow and tedious for sure. But it's sometimes there's some movies you almost want to watch them in more than one sitting, even if it's just one movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. When they get big enough, I mean, literally this is the same as like a mini series in the '90s, as we talked about in the previous pod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So maybe they could have just trimmed it down just a little bit. It's hard to say specifically what, but there's just so much dialogue and stuff that's just kind of thrown in there that's not maybe pivotal for the story, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But there is a lot to tell behind all of this that went down, because there's a lot of stuff that did happen in this film.
Oh yeah, and even when we're talking about cutting stuff like Matt brought up with the flask, you'd have to cut the little things, and those little things they don't seem like much, but when you get rid of a bunch of them, it's going to impact the movie in likely a negative.
Yeah. I think it just goes a lot with what a lot of like Scorsese's style of making movies is that they feel like two movies jammed into one. Once you get over the hill of the first one, then you're just like, holy shit, this thing is going to be going on for like another hour and a half.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I was going to.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. Sorry. I was going to say, and obviously I was still enjoying it. You know, when we mentioned Brendan Fraser coming out and a lot of good scenes in the courtroom, but by the time they get caught, there's still like an hour and a half left of the movie.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, and the movie totally kind of shifts. It takes this dramatic shift. In a lot of these movies, this happens, or you just feel it, and you're like, holy shit, there's going to be a lot more movie coming along with this. And you start feeling that length. Even though it's really good, and it's hard to say what you would even cut from a movie like this. Hard to say, but maybe almost like he could break this up into two movies, you know, or two parts, but...
Which would be fine for streaming, but theaters that would be difficult.
Yeah, it's something that is kind of like consistent with a lot of his movies, because I feel this way about like Goodfellas and The Wolf of Wall Street, movies that I love, but there's always that point where you just hit and you're like, holy shit, this thing is gonna be going on for a lot longer. Still love it. I still love it. But it's hard to say. You definitely feel that length.
Yeah, it's a long time to also sit down and watch an absolute tragedy. This isn't a light and playful 3 hours. You know, this is heart-wrenching stuff.
Yeah. It's
not a heavy
like,
3 hours.
It's not like Anchorman 2, where it's like you hit the halfway point and you go, wow, this movie's long. But at least I'm going to be giggling the entire time. This is going to be like...
No, it's like, oh my god.
There's so much more. I have so much more white guilt for you to feel.
That's totally wrong, man. It really is a tearjerker a little bit, man. It's a sad... I didn't cry watching it, but man, it
just makes you feel kind of...
depressing. It was kind of depressing to experience, to go through, you know.
I think too.
Melancholy.
Yeah, I'd say one of my critiques too, and this isn't really a critique. This is the best that is the Martin Scorsese put a lot of passion and a lot of love into this. All the actors, all the performances. But it would be nice, and hopefully this opens the door more for people to be more open to seeing perspectives from the actual Osage people like they want to evidently see. They want to see these stories told from an Osage perspective. I hope that they can do that in the future. This story clearly doesn't take a lot of that perspective. But there's only
try what they can.
Yeah, they tries what they can. Exactly. I don't think it would be really weird to ask. Either you don't get the story told, or you ask Martin Scorsese, a white Italian man who's very rich, to try and do his best at telling that story. But I hope that it opens the door for more of these stories to be told. And hopefully they're not all in this sense that they're a struggle movie. Hopefully we can see some more uplifting stories that have the same kind of narrative weight and importance, you know, that inspire the Osage people and other indigenous people. Or just people in general.
Yeah. Indeed. Race aside, regardless of.
Yeah. Otherwise, did you guys have anything else?
Like thoughts going forward on this movie, or are we still talking like critiques or ratings? And
stuff? A little bit of both. I really didn't have that many any real critiques, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't. I told you I didn't either. Well, the only thing I could really add about this movie, talking thoughts going forward, is about greed. You know, what kills all of us in spite of continual oppression and segregation against Native American people. There's, I don't know. I don't know Osage that well, I really at all. But from what little I understand of Native American culture, is that they are still a proud standing people. To this very day. And I think it's best that we don't forget what stories of theirs that we know. And I think it's even more important to continue. And I hope this inspires that, to continue to uncover stories of theirs, that we have yet to hear. I mean, as you pointed out, I mean, some of those stories are really being made in real time today. These tragedies are still fucking happening.
Yeah, like I think that
be overlooked.
That movie Wind River was a really good window into that.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
I don't know it.
Well, I think you should absolutely check it out. It's a fantastic.
What's it called?
Movie. Wind River.
Okay.
I gotta say, like as limited as it is into going into the culture of these people, it's nice to see the little bit of window. I forgot to mention this, but like going forward, I liked the little parts where they had the owl that showed up, and in a lot of indigenous cultures, the owls are seen as kind of like a bad omen or a sign of death.
Yeah, I was curious about that because, like, internationally speaking, owls either mean really good or really bad.
Yeah,
there was no nuanced in between.
A lot of Western cultures, a lot of Western cultures seen as like a sign of wisdom and stuff like that. But I mean,
European culture. Well, it depends. Yeah, absolutely. So I remember when I started seeing the owl, I remember being like, "Is that good or bad?" It's got to be bad, right?
It's bad. In fact, in that show, Reservation Dogs, they actually blur out, like, they blurred out an owl in there. Yeah, they like pixelated. It was pretty funny, but it was nice to be able to have these little small parts of that culture shown. Small, but it was there, and I liked that. I hope to see more of it in the future. I hope this opens the door. Chase, you got anything, buddy?
Yeah, just my, thoughts going forward on this film. I think it's important to not forget history. I think things shouldn't get swept under the rug at times, especially something like this. And admittedly, I was completely unaware of this tribe of Native Americans, like Hauser was saying, prior to even seeing this movie, honestly. And I think that kind of goes to show how much, a lot of this got forgotten. And I had vaguely even known, like, the Tulsa riots, like, which we talked about earlier. I had kind of vaguely remembered that, but
yeah,
I said,
it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of our. I'm just agreeing with you. A lot of this history is stuff that's swept under the rug, and we don't talk about it because it makes us feel bad and uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even. It seemed it was hidden under the rug at the time, even. Sadly enough to say. And like I said, this did not get popularized until the book was written in 2017. So, I mean, I feel like, especially for your average white American, it is a new thing. Even though it's not new at all.
Yeah.
No, they were just forgotten, and there wasn't an investigation until decades later.
No, and even then, we argue that the justice wasn't really served in the end.
Yeah.
Or basically committed another, his own micro genocide on these people.
Yeah. No,
he did eventually end up walking free when
No, it's a crazy story, and it justifies the representation in a pretty good film that I think is definitely worth watching.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Just set aside 3 hours.
Yeah, just 3.5 hours,
Yeah, right.
It's a lame movie, but it's worth watching. It's very important.
It is.
And if that's all we got, you guys got anything else?
I've said all I needed to say, really.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I think I am too. I was fortunate to be able to watch this. I actually got a free trial on Apple TV to watch it. They offer it for 3 months.
Hey.
Keep an eye for that.
Yeah, so you got 3 months free Apple out of this.
So I'm gonna check out some other stuff. Yeah, that's how I was able to watch it though. And I think it is worth watching. Maybe you don't have to go out of your way too much.
Yeah. And if you do, you get Apple TV, you can watch Ted Lasso. And
I'm intrigued by Ted Lasso. I saw that was on there as well. So
What was that Christmas movie, Matt, that you talked about with when we did that one with Dave, where we talked about it was a thing with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell?
Oh, shit! What's the name of that movie? Spirited.
Yeah, that one. I know that one's on Apple TV. I haven't seen it, and that's why it's like shit.
Well, yeah, great one. Well, thank you guys for all your insights. Thank you for listening, everyone. Good night.
Yeah, tell us your thoughts in the comment section. Give us a like, subscribe, and everyone have a good night.
Yeah, if you didn't like this movie, fuck you.
Right.
Usually not so direct, but I am very inclined to agree. Go fuck yourself.
All right, good night, everybody.
Night.